Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Ballin with Bash and Ted. I'm Ted, of course. This is Bash.
That's me.
Otherwise known as 49er Minded. Sorry, I'm just posting out that we're live here on Twitter and X. Bash, it's a faithful Friday before a huge game. A lot of people think this Niners-Ravens game on Christmas could be the game of the year. I had Darwin's Raven on earlier, and he is a fan of DVOA rankings. And apparently this game has the highest DVOA rankings of any matchup since the 2007 Patriots, led by Tom Brady, played the Colts, led by Peyton Manning. So some historic implications from that perspective. A lot of people think it could be a preview of the Super Bowl this year, as where the Ravens are the highest ranked AFC team, and the 49ers are currently the highest ranked NFC team. How are you feeling today, and what's happening with you?
I'm doing good. I'm just prepping up for the holidays. Appreciate everybody in the chat, those who showed up early. See a lot of people that we know up in there. Got love for our 49er fam out there. And if you want to shout them out first, I'll cover a few things in regards to what you said, and we'll just show them some love first.
Yeah, sure. Jimmy Perez in the house. Here we go. Got Dan the Corn Man in the house.
Dan the Corn Man.
There we go. He said he's also in the garage putting a battery in his cat.
Maybe he's talking about a tractor, a caterpillar.
Yeah, caterpillar.
Yeah, for like the lawnmower.
Car. Oh, typo. Car. There we go.
Car. Okay, there you go.
That makes more sense. Donald Johnson in the house saying, "Hey, Bash and Ted."
Don Johnson, Donald. Miami Vice.
Got Steven, don't bother me in the house. Good afternoon, faithful. One day closer. Absolutely. Blessings to Bash and Ted. Thank you. I got Raphael 562 in the house. He says, "What's up, Bashar, Ted, and everyone?" And it wouldn't be him if he didn't say like and subscribe right after. Got Silly Fun Guy in the house. He's a Rams fan, but he's pretty cool.
Always brings fun guy.
The good dad jokes. He's had a couple funny ones the last couple of days. So keep it up, Silly. The pressure's on. MB Purdy, the game changer. What do you think about that, Bash? Do you think Purdy is deserving of the MVP? You think it should be CMC? You think Tyreek Hill? Lamar? Do you think Monday will decide? What are your feelings?
I mean, I'm not going to cry if Purdy doesn't win it, but is he having a season comparable to other people who won the MVP award? Yes, I think he is having that type of season. I was saying it way back after we beat the Cowboys. I thought Purdy looked really, really nice in that game, and I was saying, I tweeted something about because they were talking about CMC being in the MVP conversation, rightfully so, but I tweeted something out like, "Hey, well, it looks like Purdy wants to be a part of this MVP conversation now." Now, lo and behold, we went on a 3-game losing streak or whatever. But again, I was saying like, "Hey, let's see how he bounces back from this." And so far, he's bounced back with flying colors. So I'm not cry over spilled milk if he loses, but whatever. I'm all about the team first. But it'd be cool if he got it. Why not? But I don't think he's going to get it because it's only his first official year as a starting quarterback. He's only 23, and there's other guys possibly have been in the mix longer. So who knows? I'll be surprised if he really gets it. I really will.
There you go. Well, speaking of Purdy for MVP, did you notice the jersey?
Whoa, Ted with the Purdy jersey.
That's right.
Whoa.
Nancy Cameron gave it to me.
The swerve.
I also have this. I got 2 jerseys for Christmas. There's another one back there.
The heel turn.
George Kittle.
If you followed wrestling,
he's covering up Steve Young. Steve Young's been officially retired.
Man, hey.
So I'm only going with current players now, I guess.
The heel turn, Ted. Do you know what the heel turn is, Ted?
Is it a dance move?
Oh my god! It has nothing to do with hip hop or rap. So I thought you might know this. I guess you never watched wrestling growing up. Then it's a wrestling. It's not just for the average wrestling fan. It's like if you're really into wrestling, you'd know what the heel turn.
I was never really into wrestling.
Okay, so for example, when
I remember Hulk Hogan and Rowdy Piper, the original stuff. Captain Lou and Andre the Giant, all that stuff. But I was never that into it, I'll be honest.
I was a big fan in the 80s and 90s. Basically, it's a reverse of character per se. Like, I believe it's when you become the bad guy. Like I'm turning heel. I'm becoming the heel. And if
turning into a heel. I get it.
Yeah. If it's a baby face turn, that means you're becoming a good guy. But well, Purdy is a good guy. He's a babyface, but just to say heel turn,
anybody would accuse me of a babyface
to make it more To make it more fun, I like to say the heel turn. I just think it sounds better.
But I guess wearing the Purdy jersey is a babyface turn.
Yeah. Shout out to Darwin's Raven. He's gonna he should be joining me tomorrow with me, Aaron, and myself on my channel.
Nice.
If we can
He's
make
the
that
one
happen.
who had that DVOA stat I was dropping earlier. So
You know what? Okay, here we go. So I mentioned heel turn. I mentioned heel turn, how it's not for the average wrestling fan, it's more for the extreme wrestling fan. DVOA now, come on, you're getting a little too technical, Ted. Explain that for the novice football fan out there, because not everybody knows what that is.
You know, DVOA, what it does is it takes into account your opponents. So you could be number one statistically, but you've played a bunch of cupcakes. DVOA could say, well, actually, the number 2 or 3 or 5 team is better because they played a murderer's row.
Okay, strength of schedule.
Accounts for your opponents, not just the raw stats. It's a qualifier of stats to make them better or worse based on the opponents you face, or the same if you faced average opponents. Tanya Seau in the house saying happy holidays, faithful.
Tanya Seau, make him say ow. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to all those who celebrate. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun this holiday weekend. Can't wait. And the Niners playing on Christmas Day.
There you go.
5 p.m. I believe.
Or 5:30. Who was stopping Debo in the Ravens game? I mean, it'd probably be Marlon Humphrey. He's a pretty damn good cornerback. Also, Kyle Hamilton, I've heard, is really good as a safety. Matt Tripper, who I had on, Trigger, who I had on a couple days ago or yesterday, was saying that Kyle Hamilton might be good to help eliminate Debo. And Darwin's Raven this morning was saying, or this earlier today anyway, was saying their outside linebacker might be helpful too. So we'll see. I mean, it's not going to be easy to stop our offense, but we definitely have not played a defense like the Ravens. Maybe the Browns defense was like the Ravens because they were pretty healthy back then. The Browns were. Fazil Urshad in the house. He had a few chats. He said he'll be there Monday night. Nice.
Yeah, I ran into him at the New York Giants game with him and his sister.
There you go. Raphael saying awesome jersey, Ted. Thank you. Yeah, a viewer gave it to me, which is pretty awesome. My wife gave me the Kittle jersey for Christmas, or Santa, gave me the Kittle jersey for Christmas. And yeah, we got Corey in the house saying what's good, Bash and Ted.
What's up, Corey?
Hope everyone's ready for Monday night. I tell you, I wish I was ready. I'm going to be traveling. I don't even know when I'll see the game. Probably not live, but maybe we'll see.
I'm going to try to knock out a post-game show that evening. If there's some family stuff getting in the way because it is Christmas, I may have to do it the day after, but we'll see.
Dan says, I think it should be Purdy. The media doesn't want to talk about him being an MVP, even though it's a QB award. Now they throw their positions into it. Yeah, I mean, I've said all season I thought it should be CMC. I feel like he's the V12 that makes Kyle's system roar. But Purdy's been definitely gaining ground as of late. Like, I mean, I've got him up to my latest QB rankings. I've got him up to 2 to 5 in the league. And so it's getting hard to deny that he should be in that conversation. But I think a lot will happen on Monday. I mean, I think if we lose to the Ravens, I don't think Purdy will get it. I think they'll probably give it to Lamar. But I think CMC and Tyreek really are the 2 MVPs. I don't think it should be a QB this year.
Tyreek's having a monster season, right?
He is. And you can just see what happens to the Dolphins when he's out. They just fall apart. So that's sort of what MVP means to me. But, I would be super happy if Purdy won it. Like I said, the main thing I care about is winning number 6. But if we get some other awards along the way, that doesn't bother me one bit. Raphael says, I got my Purdy jersey. It's a away jersey, though. So he's got white. Nice. I like it. Merry Christmas to everyone from Donald Johnson. Thank you. Dan the Corn Man was saying now they want to throw Lamar Jackson if we beat him. Who knows what kind of excuses. Yeah, I mean, if we beat them, I don't see how they could give it to Lamar. He seems like he's already behind Purdy. And the thing is with Lamar, though, is, I mean, honestly, I didn't tweet it. It was on the timeline. Barely Football asked who is the better quarterback between Lamar and Purdy. And I wanted to just say, like, can I answer on Tuesday? Like after the game. But I mean, let's be honest. If we had Lamar, I think we'd be doing at least as well as we're doing, if not better.
It would just be a different dynamic with the team, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we are pretty run oriented, anyways.
And if Purdy was on the Ravens, I don't think they'd be doing as well. I do think that Lamar does more with less, especially since he doesn't have Mark Andrews anymore, who was his only elite weapon to begin with. And their offense is not as good as ours.
It's just like it's like those college teams that focus heavily on the run and the option.
Yeah,
that's what you get with the Ravens.
Well,
So,
with Greg Roman, but now they've
it.
got this new coordinator, and they're actually passing the ball more. So it's still an important piece of their game, no doubt about it. But Greg Roman was like almost exclusively a run coordinator, and now their new OC is spreading the ball around a little more. But they still need better weapons. I mean, if Zay Flowers is your best weapon as a rookie wide receiver, or OBJ, who's, come on, let's face it, pretty much washed. It's not a lot to throw to there. So if he has to hold the ball a little longer, that's probably part of the reason why, is he doesn't have the same weapons to throw to. I really hope the defense tackles better. Yeah, they were not good against the Cards. It looked like Javon Hargrave practiced today. I saw Raj posted and Coach Yak posted that up. So that would be really helpful to get Javon Hargrave back. We were definitely missing him in Armstead. Jason Captain Niner Massey now says Talofa Faithful.
What up, Captain?
Hello, Faithful and Samoan. 49er Jeff in the house. And what's up, fellas? Not much. Better now that you're here. Who do you having the best game? Who do you see having the best game?
What was the question? Who do you? I don't know.
On offense.
CMC would be nice. It's going to be, yeah. I mean, hopefully it's CMC, because that would really give the team a huge spark. But I'd like to see Ayuk bounce back, though, seriously, because he pretty has been throwing the shit out of the ball lately, setting up for some good plays. And I'm a big Ayuk guy, and he's been very consistent with those 20-yard catches down the field. But the past couple of games where there's been some hiccups with Ayuk, and we saw it when Ayuk got that fumble on that one play where Purdy threaded the needle on that one pass, and Ayuk's run up the field and he fucking fumbled it. And then I believe on a few series before that, Ayuk tried to stretch his hands out to catch the ball, and it bounced off his hands. It became an interception. So we need Ayuk to bounce back. And even in the last game, I think there was a couple hiccups where they tried to throw a deep ball down the left sideline. It looked like it was going to be this amazing deep pass, and Ayuk didn't haul it in. And so I just need Ayuk to step up this game. That's what I'd like to see. I'd love to see that, actually.
There you go. Yeah, I would love to see Ayuk. If I was a betting man, I would bet on Debo. These are the tough games where he really shows out. I feel like they'll say make anybody but Christian McCaffrey beat us. And I think that anybody will be Debo if I was a betting man. Paul Hope says, whoa, Ted in a Purdy jersey. Yeah, I got one from Nancy Cameron. So I am wearing it. I wore it a couple times yesterday. Earlier today, I wore the Kittle because I just got it. But yeah, Steve Young, I think he's going into retirement. We'll see, but it's looking like these two will be my jerseys moving forward.
Damn, look at you. You're not even you were arguing with people saying you didn't think Purdy was that great, and let alone you get gifted a 49er Christmas jersey. Pretty Christmas present.
I mean, he's changed my mind. He's changed my mind with the way he's been throwing the deep ball. That was my big question mark about him all along, was the deep ball and his escapability. Both have improved this year. So,
but I thought his escapability was already good last year, though. I didn't have a problem with that.
But he didn't have any long runs last year. This year he's got some.
I mean, long runs. Like he's never going to get those Kaepernick 50-yard runs. But
but he's got all you need is like those 10 yards now this year.
I mean, at least get those like 10-yard first down type runs, and a lot of quarterbacks who aren't known to be big time scrambles can get those just because they see and they look when the protection breaks down a little bit. But I've always liked his. I love his footwork in the pocket, by the way. When he does those 7 steps,
I always said he had elite quickness. I just felt like after he took a couple steps, he got chased down from behind. Haven't seen that as much this season. So that's the both areas.
Very few times people have caught those shoestring tackles on him this year. It only happened like twice, maybe.
There was a few there in the Browns and Vikings and Bengals games, though. But yeah, I mean, maybe that was due to Trent Williams being out. Who knows? So Steven says Isaiah Likely isn't a bad tight end, plus a big target. We need to limit plays to tight ends. Yeah, Isaiah Likely is a solid receiving tight end, especially for just a second-year player. But he's no Mark Andrews, that's for sure. How about Jerry Rice comparing Brock to Joe Montana?
It's, you know what? A lot of people are doing that same type of comparison. Rex Ryan did it. Jerry Rice did it. Somebody else that may have mentioned it, where it slipped my mind. The consensus is basically it's based on this. It's not that, oh, he's Hall of Famer Joe Montana already. No, it's not that. It's just that right off the bat, the calm, cool, and collectiveness, and the fact that he doesn't get rattled, things don't phase him, and there's a lot of similarities to Montana in that regard. And shout out to Celts Chronicles. He put up that really cool video. I don't know did you see that video?
No,
that Celts Chronicles. If you want, I can share it.
Sure.
On the screen a little later, if you want. Where basically Montana's scrambling around, throwing a pass to Roger Craig, and it literally mirrors what Purdy was doing. And I'm gonna cue up the video now, actually, if you want me to share, because I have it on my screen.
That's fine. And then what I would just say to Dan was, Jerry Rice also compared Jimmy Garoppolo to Tom Brady. So, I get it. I do see.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, somebody pulled it up as a response.
I don't remember that, man.
Really?
You
mean this Jerry Rice? Yeah, that Jerry.
Maybe he said that back. Did he say that back when
I don't know.
Because when Jimmy first stepped on the scene, he looked like a godsend, right?
Yeah.
Because we had shit, and he did look. He was a bit nicer back then too, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But no, he's not. No, he's not Tom Brady.
No, he's not. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, I mean, in the offseason bash, you remember I said a lot about, comparing Purdy to the greats, like Montana, like Young, like Tom Brady. I said it was hyperbole, but the better that Brock plays, if he keeps it up, less and less it's hyperbole.
People did it way too early. I didn't get that part either.
Yeah. I just think for the Montana thing, I need to see more comebacks. And I get it. This team, we're a front running team. It's different, but we have.
I think they'll come in the future.
Yeah, I think they will too. But until I see those, I'm going to slow down on the Montana comps. But I can see what people mean about how he's calm, how he's sort of. He doesn't. Neither one were particularly physically gifted, but they threw really catchable balls and accurately and on time, made great decisions, and had enough mobility to escape the pass rush momentarily to get a second chance at making the play. So here we go. Here's
so I'm gonna. There you go.
14-0 Niners. Purdy makes a swim move and finds Debo Samuel. Are you kidding me? What a play in the crowd! Trust me, it's him. Behind that window pane. 14-0.
Now I can kind of see it in some ways. Like I said, I need to see more. I mean, people compare early Montana. Obviously, Montana didn't really start for 3 seasons. 1981 was his third season. Mm-hmm. So Purdy's got a long way to go, a lot of time before, he would actually be behind Montana time-wise. It's just that, they eased Montana in more. Like we probably would have done with Purdy if Jimmy first it wasn't just Jimmy, it was Trey, and then Jimmy hadn't gotten injured, so probably would have taken him a while to see the field, I would imagine. There we go. So no, I mean I can see the comp. I'm not ready to make it. I mean
early on certain traits. I mean when we're saying we're just comparing certain traits, we're not making complete player comps because that would be freaking ridiculous. I don't think and that's not fair for any player who's 23 years old. It's completely unfair.
Raphael says Ted in a Purdy jersey means Purdy is top 3. I would say I said 2 to 5 this week, so 2, 3, 4. I'm kind of like half elite. I'm saying like top 3 is elite right now with Rodgers and Burrow out. So 2 and 3 are elite. 4 and 5, not so much, but I'm saying half and half. So that's the closest I've come to saying that Purdy's elite. If we beat the Ravens, it'd be pretty hard to deny at that point, I think. Ravens with Lamar Jackson are run heavy. They try to utilize their tight ends a lot more than their wide receivers. Yeah. It's just that their running backs are hurt. They had this Keaton Mitchell running back who was catching a lot of passes, and he just tore his ACL. So they're down to just Gus Edwards and blanking on the other guy's name. They're sort of one cut back, but they're a little thin at running back, so thin that they just elevated Melvin Gordon to the practice from the practice squad to active roster. So they're hoping they don't have to see him carry the ball. Yo, you're on mute.
I'm gonna say it's really quick. Keaton Mitchell scared me, and when I saw him playing on the Ravens, and some friends of mine were talking about him before the draft and all, and he was one of those speedy type running backs I wanted the 49ers to pick up, and I saw him running around like crazy in the Ravens uniform. I was like, whoa, it's gonna be kind of scary playing this guy when we play him, and kind of caught a little break because he's not playing. Not saying that I wish injuries, I never ever do. They do have another tough running back, like you mentioned. Was it Gus?
Gus Edwards.
Gus Farrat, the quarterback.
Gus Edwards.
Yeah, he's got what 12 touchdowns this year. He's 6'1", 238 pounds. The pretty strong running back. So I'm definitely have to take that into account. And then you add the Lamar Jackson running element to the offense too.
Yeah. Donald Johnson says, I'd like to see Kidd get 1,000 yards receiving. Yeah, me too. He's my favorite player. Want to see him ball out as a tight end. If it's not Debo balling out against the Ravens, I'd say Kittle's my second pick to have a big game. But I just think with Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen, inside linebackers, Kyle Hamilton, I think that's going to be trouble for Kittle and CMC. That's why I think Debo might be the key to Rebecca. We'll see. Paul Hope says, loving the visor as well. On Bash's hat is fire, the 49ers saloon font. This, I should have worn this to the Bucks game, Paul. I was saying it when I was there. I wore the one that it's like a Niners logo. And it says SF Niners across here, more of a maroon color. And I was like, I should have worn this one because, it's 49ers Faithful UK that brought me. And obviously Paul was there. I sat next to him. But Lee Galland is president, Paul's vice president. Lee was the one who sent me the link for this visor because I was complaining to him this offseason about, there's never any visors. I can't find any. And he's like, boom, here you go, Ted. Here's one. So, of course, I bought it right away. And I like to wear it a lot with Bash because a lot of times he wears the saloon font so we match at least the style, if not the color. But I should have worn it that day so Lee could see it live and in person since he's the one who sent it to me.
That's okay, man. Yeah. I actually have the shirt that matches this hat. I forgot where I put it. I got to look for it. So next time I go live, I should wear it.
And Donald said, and Debo by the end of season 2 for the 1,000 yards. Yeah. Then we'd have all our weapons over 1,000 scrimmage yards. CMC's well past that now. So is Ayuk, and just need Kittle and Debo to cross the threshold. I don't care if he gets long runs as long as he can avoid the sack and hit receivers. Yeah, no, I don't care that I care a little bit. It's not a huge concern. It's just last year, Brock didn't have really any long runs. And this year he actually has some. Not Kaepernick long, but definitely some, 20, 30 plus yard runs. And those are nice to see. It's good to have it all in your bag. So just glad to see that improvement in long runs, but more importantly in the deep throws. That's the area I really wanted to see and where I had concerns. Raphael says, share it. Oh, that must have been the video. Wow, am I that far behind? No, I guess not. Not that far. I'm still on the same page.
If he said share it about the video, it's that video is all over Instagram and Twitter. It's so if you hit up Count Some Chronicles social media, you'll find it on there too. He's the one who put it out, by the way.
David McNiner in the house saying, what up, Bash and Ted and Bashar? Let's let him go. 49ers. What's up, McNiner?
I got to meet him.
Nice.
With him and Brian Kolb and his wife. And
I still need to meet all three of them. And I need to get all three of them back into my DM group. I just saw Tony just left right before the show. I'm like, geez. So anyway, I don't want to bother people with
they worked it out and not worked it in. Tony
drama, but there's some drama going on in Niners content creator land, and I will sort it out. I guess it's not right. Everybody's saying what up? Jay says the attributes of Purdy that relates to Montana. Don't think any more than that. Yeah, I get you. Comeback games are hard on my heart. Yeah, I think we may need one Monday. I think it's going to be a really close game.
That's going to be a tough game, man.
This is the best defense we've faced all season, maybe better than our defense, especially our defense without Armstead. And I don't know. We haven't seen anything like this. Now, again, it seems like every time I say like, oh, this is the game of the year, game of the year, game of the year, like Cowboys 42-10, Eagles 42-19. I hope we smash the Ravens the same way, but I think it's really unlikely. I'm predicting actually a 1-point win for the 49ers.
I'm not going to predict that blowout, but if the blowout happens, it's almost like, hey, you know what? We've seen this before. We've done this against the really good teams. It's almost like a thing we do. So, hey, maybe I should have predicted that in the first place, but that's not going to be what I predict, though. Just with all due respect to the Ravens fans and that team, they're really, really good. I would never predict a freaking blowout for a team like that.
There you go. Dan's asking if we're going to do a watch party. I don't know who is. I definitely won't be. I'll be just landing in the islands, and I don't even think I'll get to watch it live. So
yeah, the way my TV is set up, where I watch the lives and watch the games, it's not suitable for me. It's not a good setup for me to go live. And if I were to go live in the room that I normally go in, I don't have access to a TV with a good up-to-date live feed of the video of the game. Otherwise, I'd be watching on some cheap stream, and then the stream would be like a 30-second delay, and then there'll be the YouTube delay on top of that. So people don't know this. There's like a 15-second delay from whatever I'm saying right now live for me until when you guys see it. So I don't know. It is what it is. I'd love to do a live stream though, where I'm doing the game, but a whole bunch of other people are kind of doing the same thing. But it would be nice to do a live reaction one of these days.
Raphael says, is Danny who going to play this season?
If Joey Mahoney was watching Niner Joe, he'd be, man, he's gung-ho about Danny Gray, but he's pretty much, he's read the tea leaves. He sees the writing on the wall. He's pissed off about it, but it is what it is. When the guy is not going to get on the field this year, it's weird because it's almost like Shanahan doesn't doesn't have high regard for certain players he drafts. You think it kind of looks like that?
But I understood it last year because we didn't have a deep threat QB, but now that Purdy has emerged as a deep threat QB, I would imagine there should be more opportunities for Danny Gray. But he must have done something to get into Kyle's doghouse.
Yeah, and it's not just the deep threat plays because he's obviously is a deep threat. I know one time we had him in the game when we ran a jet sweep with him. Like, we can do creative type things with a player with that type of speed, and he's not built like a damn stick figure either. He's actually kind of built. He has a nice build to him for a guy who's got that crazy speed. And I thought they'd have all these plans with Danny Gray when they drafted him, but who knows, man? Shout out to Ryan in the chat. See you, bro.
There we go, Ryan from No Border Sports. So now that everybody's here, there's something I have to say, which is, Ryan, you got to unblock Tony Culp, Bryant Culp, and David McNiner because you kicked them all out of my chat group and all out of Beto's chat group. And I understand if you guys have a beef and whatever, but that can't happen. I mean, I just, so now you're here, I got to say it. I know what, the person did with your daughter, it's totally unacceptable also. So I'm not taking that person's side. I went ahead and unfollowed that person. But yeah, I need you to unblock all those people so I can bring them back to the chat group. So that has to happen. But I hope all's well. And again, I'm sorry to see what you posted up. It's terrible what some people will say and do. People's children should be off limits, but that's wild. Anyway, but welcome. Now you don't need to leave, but or if you want to leave the chat group, you can, I guess, whatever you want to do. But I gotta have it so I can bring them back because, anyway, I don't think anybody did anything to be booted out for. But yeah, sorry to bring that up during a show. I apologize, but that's kind of the way I am. I'm not like gonna pussyfoot around stuff. If something's going on, it needs to be talked about. And anyway, so let's get back.
And in world news today, I don't know. We got to spin that, and I don't know how to follow that up. But yeah. Oh, what's up? Jason says, "Sucks. I gotta work Monday." Sorry to hear. Hopefully the Niners win for you. Hopefully you'll be watching in spirit and cheering in spirit for our Niners captain Jason Massey. Check out their podcast. I forgot the name of your podcast. I know it's Niners something podcast, but drop the name of the podcast.
Niners Smash.
Niners Smash. Yeah, drop the name of the podcast.
Oh no, it's Niners Faithful Radio.
Yeah, Niners Faithful Radio. Okay. I'll drop the link. I'll pull up the link and I'll drop it in the chat for those who want to subscribe. Yeah, because
Sports.
Him and TJ are good dudes, man. And
do we know if this is the real Ramelia or?
Will the real Ramelia please stand up?
If only somebody had him blocked. I think it's Randy Daytona, maybe, or Tommy Huxley. One of those guys had him blocked, so he would know if he could see him. It's the real Ramelia. But he said Ted finally changed to Steve Young. Yep, I put Steve Young into retirement. A audience member got me the Purdy jersey, and so I decided to wear it. So there you go.
Kim in the house.
Nice. So
he says we need to limit Lamar. We very much do. It's a little scary playing the guy. We lost to him last time. A lot of people were up in arms and cussing their heads off that Mostert should have gotten the ball at the end of the game. It's almost like in typical fashion now that with a Jimmy G led team. A lot of times in crunch time, it's like, why did they run the ball? They should have ran the ball. Why did they put the ball in Jimmy's hands? And that was one of those situations where people thought Mostert should have gotten the ball. And we lost to the Ravens. Ravens are a team that does play us tough historically. Of course, this Niner team is completely different from that 2019 team, if you ask me. But it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, no, it's very different. We're very different. But, that last play in that game in 2019, maybe it should have been Mostert, or maybe it should have been a sneak. It was 4th and 1. But, ultimately, it's like I think it should have been from under center. I think that's the biggest thing, because it was when you go from under center, then the D line has to account for the sneak, has to account for, the fullback dive or a running back dive. And so the D linemen have to fire out low. And when it's shotgun, all those things are are not available. And so they were able to get their hands up and deflect the ball. So, yeah, it was frustrating losing to the Ravens back then. But nonetheless, we still ended up with the number 1 seed. So I can't say that it hurt us that badly. It'll probably be another slobber knocker game between these two teams.
We're the number 1 seed because we ballin'. Shout out to Travis King. That's the 49 Faithful Ride With Me song. I'm sure you heard it before, right, Ted?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so I knew you know that one. I knew you know that. Well, he's in the video with Breezy, and he actually repeats some of the lines from that song. But initially, he had another song before that Breezy thing. And I was going to say, you mentioned under center. I think I'm a bit worried about Jake Brendel, man, going up against, kind of hard to say this guy's name, Justin Madubuike. If I'm saying that name right. He's got 12 sacks for the Ravens at D tackle, 6'3", 305. Jake Brandel's not the biggest, strongest of centers, and it's going to be a tough matchup, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And also Michael Pierce. They have a really big nose tackle too.
Wish we had one.
Yeah, no doubt. So I think it'll be tough to run the ball in the middle against the Ravens defense too. Madubuike is about to, if he gets a sack or a half sack against us, he'll set a record. It's too bad because we could have had him. He was in Javon Kinlaw's draft class. Went in about the 3rd round.
Set a record for what though?
Most consecutive games with at least half a sack or something like that.
Really? Okay, that's
8 or 9 games.
Never heard that one. That's kind of funny. I never heard them stretch to the point where they were. He's getting half a sack each game now.
Ask Darwin's Raven about it, and I think Matt Trigger,
I'll talk to him about it. Yeah.
I think Matt Trigger told me about it too. So the other Raven.
It just sounds kind of funny, but he's really good though. Not to knock the guy, he's really good. That's why I mentioned him, and I'm worried about him.
No doubt about it. There's a lot of places here in Chicago getting ready for Monday Night Babe. Yeah, a lot of places.
Who's the babe? Maybe he's talking to his girlfriend and she's reading his chat.
You meant me. No.
One of our cheerleaders, hopefully. I don't know.
I haven't been called babe in a long time.
You're beautiful, babe.
You have Beef Supreme. I don't think I've seen Beef before. In the defense of Lamar, I think the Niners win big. Interesting.
Shout out to Beef Supreme. If you're watching on my channel or Ted's channel, just make sure that you subscribe to both channels and you hit the like button on both channels. Very important for both channels to get the like button. And the like when people smash the like buttons on these videos, basically what it helps do is it helps promote the video on YouTube to where if somebody's watching a 49er video and they see the sidebar with suggestions for other Niner videos, it will feature those videos that have more likes. So we do appreciate that if you guys do so.
There you go. Need to limit Lamar. Absolutely. That's easier said than done. Luckily, they won't have Mark Andrews, but they still have Isaiah Likely. They still have Zay Flowers. Yeah, that's the right one. And then they also have OBJ, who,
Beckham Jr.
If he's healthy, he can still be dangerous. I mean, not necessarily as a deep threat, but he's still a talented wide receiver if he can stay healthy. So we'll see. You need to keep Lamar in the pocket and sack his ass.
Does he still have the Odell Beckham Jr. hands? Because he's made some quite some great catches throughout the years.
He has. I can't say that I've really seen him play recently. So
I've seen very little of him this year, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Nathan Banks in the house saying, "Hey guys."
Any relation to Aaron Banks?
Speaking of Aaron Banks, it's amazing how well John Feliciano has been playing in place of Aaron Banks.
Yeah.
And in place of Burford, he was the highest PFF rated offensive player this last week. Not just offensive lineman, offensive player.
He's better than Brunskill, dude.
Yeah, he is.
And if
he is this year anyway.
If he is significantly better than Burford, as much as I want Burford to develop, and you mentioned it too, though, but if it's really to the point where it's a difference maker, get him out there, get the best players on the field. I mean, we're trying to win something here.
Got it. So now they're saying that's Steve-O in the comments with one of his fake accounts as the Vermilia Sports Report.
Inspector Gadget.
The one who causing all this issue. Well, I don't know who's causing. I don't want to get involved, but
I'll say this: if
talking about someone's daughter is unacceptable to me.
If the name that you didn't mention earlier heard what you had to say, if he respects you, he needs to take it to heart and put an end to it, and we can all move on, because a lot of bullshit piled on top of each other as of today on the Twitter chats, and we don't need it. We're not in high school anymore. So just saying it right there.
Agreed. Hopefully everyone can work it out and put on their big boy pants.
Yeah, we're trying to come to. First of all, we're on a mission here. We're trying to win number 6. I mean, and that includes the fans too. It's not just the players, man.
There you go. More concerned about tackling than Wilkes' game plan. I think there's
dude. Who was that guy? DeMercado. I never heard of this running back ever.
Yeah, he busted the long one against us.
Dude, the tackling was that run should have only been like an 8 to 10 yard, 12-yard run top. There were defenders in the area. I mean, I'm sorry, like no way in hell that should have been was it a 49-yard touchdown run on that play? I believe it was. Yeah, he busted open, and then Jair Brown messed up on that play too. Just a lot of people messed up on that play. Just we can't do that. We can't do that against these good teams like the Ravens or whoever else we play.
Yeah, I think Hargrave back will help, but I think Armstead would be even more helpful against the run. But Hargrave obviously helps apply pressure against the pass.
I got to ask you this:
you don't have to make tackles at all.
Since we're talking about D tackles in the mix, obviously we missed we did miss Hargrave and Armstead. Hopefully they do play. We signed Taylor Stallworth, the guy I never heard of. He used to play for the Colts, but I heard that I don't know if you caught this. You probably did. That Sebastian Joseph Day from the Chargers, who was a team captain, was released today. I don't know if the 49ers have any interest in him. I heard he is pretty good at stuff in the run, and it sounds like he's a huge upgrade over this Taylor Stallworth guy that we.
Yeah, he was a long-time Ram and then Charger, and I don't know who released him, but I would be totally down to get SJD, Sebastian Joseph Day. And
you know me, I'm not the guy who when a player's available, a player gets cut, like let's get him, let's sign him. I'm not that guy, but if since Kalia Davis went down, I mean, and then we saw the disaster with Armstead and Hargrave not playing this past week. we can, why not? Why not bring that guy in? Just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Silly Fun Guy says OBJ played great against the Rams, including deep TD. Obviously, that must have been when he was with the Browns. What up, everyone? 49ers all day, every day. David Corona in the house. Welcome, David. Check out his channel, everybody. You don't talk about someone else's daughter, wife, or mom. We're all adults. Yeah,
that's good. That's completely. We shouldn't even. That's like something that you shouldn't even have to bring up because it's totally common sense.
I agree 100%.
You know what they say about common sense, right?
It's not so common.
Yeah, common sense isn't always common. There you go.
Yeah. I can't wait to go to the 49ers game on Christmas Day. Let's go. Niners smash the Ravens. There you go. Get it. Tommy Huxley in the house. The boss of the chat is here. Self-appointed boss. Welcome, Tommy. Everybody's saying hi.
Shout out to Tommy Huxley. What's up, Tommy? Really good guitarist, talented guitarist. Definitely check out his YouTube channel if you're into all that funky guitar riffs.
Oh, Silly said that OBJ tore up the Rams recently with the Ravens.
Okay.
In that game that went to overtime and ultimately came down to a special teams play that the Ravens won on. Interesting. That game, the Rams are playing some good football. That's their only loss in their last 8 or 9 games. Puka is a monster, so is Cooper, and now they got Kyron Williams. They kind of have this 3-headed monster for Stafford to work with, and Stafford is a really good QB. Oh, you're on mute, bud.
We unfortunately gave Puka way too much room in that initial matchup with the Rams.
That was back when we were still playing off the ball.
Yeah,
and we also had
Isaiah
Oliver. Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, once we made that switch in the lineup, and once Steve got his ass on the sidelines.
I think it's bigger than Chase Young, honestly. I do. They're both big.
But. You know what? I love it when Chase Young's out there and he is effective, but I'd say it's bigger for the simple fact that Chase Young doesn't get enough reps to make a true impact for this trade. And to be honest with you, now if he's out there, I totally think he would, because I love what he does when he is on the field. But there's games where I'm just sitting there watching, like on 3rd and longs and obvious passing situations, and Chase Young's not even on the field. It's almost like they're like, okay, Chase, we're gonna lock you up and just save you for the big games against the big teams. I don't know what their plan is, but they better give him a bunch of reps in these upcoming games, because that's when we're really going to need him.
Tommy Huxley's an executive chef now. Bash says, let's have a cook-off. Tommy's got promoted. So does that mean do you not cook anymore? You just manage, or are you still cooking? You're still in the production?
He's like Gordon Ramsay. He cusses at everybody in the kitchen, and he throws things and threatens them. Spits their faces on
what
them.
Tommy is cooking.
Do you smell what the Brock is cooking? That's the real one that matters right there.
No doubt. Funny. All the protein, starch, and vegetable sauce if needed. There you go. Darwin's back with food. Oh, what you got, Darwin? Don't hold it back. Tell us what you got. We got a lot of foodies around here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. Write in the menus and do the ordering. Moving on up. So as far as, the game goes, obviously the Ravens D is pretty elite. They lead the league in sacks. They have 2 great linebackers in Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen. Kyle Hamilton is one of the best safeties. They have blanking on his name. I always forget his name. Their cornerback, Marlon Humphrey, is a really outstanding cornerback.
Well, what was he saying about our team? He was saying some pretty.
Well, no. He said he didn't. No, he said he didn't respect anybody on the team, but then he's like, "Oh no, I'm joking." But the person who put up the video didn't include the part where he said I'm joking, and so they turned it into.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was actually, kind of clickbaity what they did, unfortunately. So, love the guy.
Okay.
But
You love him, huh?
yeah, absolutely. He's great. He's one of our great. He's helped me a lot. He's been on my show a few times.
Oh, who you talking about?
I
thought you were talking about Marlon Humphrey.
I don't want to say anything negative about.
No, I thought you were talking about Marlon Humphrey. That's why I laughed. Who are you referring to?
No, I meant our content creator who posted the Marlon Humphrey.
Who was it that made the edit though? That you said.
I don't know. I know who.
Here, just type it to me in the private chat if you don't want to say it.
Okay.
I just want to know for myself. Jeez.
No, that's fine. I just don't want to out anybody.
I got you. Just type it for my own personal knowledge. I made a little joke to you, but I thought you were talking about the player the whole time.
No. And like, so there was a clip of Marlon Humphreys talking to some content creator for the Ravens, and he said, "What do you think of the 49ers?" And Marlon Humphrey said, "Oh, I don't respect them." And he's like, "Oh, you don't respect one of them?" He goes, "No, I don't respect any of them." And then like they cut the video, and then they're like, supposedly, I don't know, I haven't seen the full video, but I heard that Marlon Humphrey's like, no, I'm kidding, because how could you not respect a team that has been to the Super Bowl and 2 NFC championships when your team is 1-3 in the playoffs? Like, there's no way you can tell me you don't have at least a little respect for a team that has had so much more playoff success. I'm sorry. Yeah. There's no way. So that's why I couldn't understand it when I first saw it. And then it obviously made sense when it wasn't the full clip. It was shown in a way to get 49ers fans pissed off, and it worked. There's a lot of fans really pissed off.
I didn't really get pissed. I kind of laughed at it. Wasn't there something else though that was going on? I'm trying to remember.
Well, Kyle Hamilton said that somebody asked Kyle Hamilton about Purdy if he's a system quarterback, and he said no. He said Purdy's, making all the throws that you'd want any quarterback to make. So I think
I saw the Michael Vick video where Michael Vick was talking about because Michael Vick was basically they're like, is he a game manager? He's like, no, I think he's a game changer, and that was with RG3 and Michael Vick, and they were both agreeing.
RG3 was also saying he thought Purdy was good.
RG3 had Michael Vick on, and Michael Vick's like, no, man. He runs
RG3 didn't say not a system quarterback. RG3 said Purdy's elite. So he took it a step further.
Oh, he did. Okay.
The difference between saying not a system quarterback and then to say he's
there. You
elite.
go. Is that why you're wearing the jersey now, Ted? Okay.
I wore it yesterday too. I didn't see the RG3 video until today. And Darwin, interesting, said, "Oh, nothing good. Just strudel. Strudel sounds good."
Mike Florio said something too, but I didn't catch the whole video.
I was gonna say, great minds think alike, Darwin, because I had a steak in between the last show and this one. Bash knows the rub I use. It's called Carl's Prime Rib Rub. I put it on some.
I haven't used it in a long time, man. I have that rub.
It's so effing good.
I
gave it to I have this friend who does the serious smoking of briskets and stuff.
Oh, is a smoker? Cool.
He makes his own rubs, and he has the big green egg, and he has this little there's this Wi-Fi thermometer. So there's a thermometer on the grill, thermometer in the meat, and then this little. So you basically close the whole thing up, and there's just one little vent at the bottom, and then you put a cap on that with a fan, and so the fan can totally control the temperature and keep it even for hours on end. And he tried that rub on a ribeye, and he's like, "Man, it's so good! I thought it was marinated because of the way it permeated the whole steak, and got all the way through it." But yeah, if you guys want something really good, Carl's Prime Rib Rub, it's ridiculous.
It's got a picture. It's hard to find though, and it's got that little picture of the Golden Gate Bridge on it. Yeah. I have it sitting in my pantry, but I haven't used it. I literally last time I used it was for cooking up prime ribs, and it has that prime rib
ribeye, New York. It's amazing. Even filet, it's not bad, but the fattier steaks is what you want on for sure.
Yes, sir.
Ryan.
Tommy's train.
Oh boy, been rolling around sushi lately too. Oh wow, that's outstanding.
Is that the technique, or is that for rolling something else?
Well, no. When you roll sushi, you use these.
They use this thing, this bamboo thingy or whatever.
Yeah, and kind of roll almost into little squares.
Yeah, I don't have that thing at home, but I've seen people do it.
Sushi is the rice. So if the trick is to go buy the rice from a sushi restaurant. And then you don't have to because making the rice is very difficult. And
rice isn't that, but rice isn't hard to make though.
Sushi rice is. It's very different.
But what if you have one of those little rice makers?
and it's got the
Well,
vinegar
I know
in
it's
it. And you
stickier,
gotta
but
like fan it and shit. It's not like
really,
it's not
I
like you
never
just stick it in a steamer and you're like, boom, it's done.
really, huh?
Sushi, sushi rice is like very difficult. That's the hardest part about making the sushi is making the damn rice.
That's weird. Okay, I never made my own sushi. But,
No, my dad used to make it years ago, so I know a little something about it for sure. So yeah. You got Dub
shout out to
Club
Dub
30.
Club 30, Niner fan, Warrior fan. You know what sucks is I finally like I was pissed off at the Warriors after this Draymond Green crap and all these games I watched that they lost, and I was so busy that day that I didn't even bother to research if the Warriors were even playing a game within the stretch of about 2 or 3 days. And I was so mad that I missed the Warriors Celtics game. And lo and behold, the Curry hits a game-winning 3. And I mean, keep in mind, I've watched the Warriors since 1988, so I've sat through plenty of shitty years. So it is what it is. So I'll start watching them again. I'm more excited to see Kuminga in the extended role, if anything else. Hopefully, he can step up.
So how do you feel about the Draymond Green situation?
I feel it's really stupid and dumb. I mean, when you grow older, you mature, right? I mean, it's almost like he's
hopefully.
It's like he's regressed. The first time I saw the video of the punch, I was like, okay, maybe Nurkic, because in NBA and football too, sometimes there's a lot of little subtle things that don't look like they're much, but then they actually do hurt and there's pain involved. So I was thinking, okay, maybe Nurkic did something where there was some pain involved and he shoved him. If I see it from a different angle, I can kind of rationalize what happened. And I sat back and I watched it. Dude, the guy did absolutely nothing to Draymond, and Draymond just spins around and freaking clocks him. Like, come on, bro, dude, this is so stupid. Like, I love Draymond too. Throughout the years, I mean, I think he's a lot of fun. He's a heart and soul of the team at times, and kind of got that Dennis Rodman undersized, power forward type mentality. Yeah, he can try to guard centers, and he's done a lot of great things to their team. People want to rag on him and said he doesn't put up 30 points a game and he hasn't put up, with Draymond, what makes him effective is all these things that he did for the team that did not show up on the stat sheet. When you sit and watch the games and you see him do this, do that, all these nuances, then you'll see why he was valuable for all those championship runs. It wasn't like he was going out there to be a stat stuffer. No, and he's a team first guy, but he's got to fix his shit, man. He can't be like this if he plans on playing for the next 2 or 3 years before he retires. It's horrible for him. It's a horrible example for the rest of the league.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting tired of the whole Draymond.
We got a Draymond Green on our teams, a little low key one. Draymond Greenlaw. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Just no.
He used to run a steakhouse. Darwin's Raven.
No doubt. Darwin's Raven was saying their defense is crazy. The 49ers is crazy. Our offense is I'm not gonna say they're gonna struggle, but that's what he's saying. But they're going to have to put some work in to score points, Humphrey said. And I would say kind of the same thing for us against the Ravens defense. Our offense, I think, is definitely better than the Ravens offense. But I think the Ravens defense might be better than the Niners defense even when we're healthy. And we are not healthy, folks. So I think the Ravens defense is better right now than the Niners defense. I don't know. We'll see. Then do you have a prediction for the game? Darwin or Levi. Darwin's Raven's name is Levi, by the way. He said I used to run a steakhouse when I was in college in South Carolina. Interesting.
Yeah. So I do have a prediction. I've already mentioned this on the Tuesday show that I do, which is the Bring the Heat podcast with Ryan and Mariah, and that is 28-17. And Bluetooth thermometers for cooking up steaks.
I agree with 3 of your digits.
3 of the digits? Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead and give me your prediction.
28-27.
Oh, okay. We were pretty close. Okay.
And Darwin was close too. He said 29-28. So he thinks they're gonna be down, score the tying touchdown, but instead of going for the tie, they're gonna go for a 2-point and beat us 29-28. I'm saying we'll foil the 2-point conversion and hold on to win 28-27.
And Wayne Breezy said, shout out to Breezy, he said something like he thinks it's the game that Jake Moody's going to be called on to kick the game-winning field goal. And if it's going to come down to field goals, I know Justin Tucker should win that and win in that department.
Don't do it to the youngster. Don't do it.
I don't want him to be in that position.
That could ruin him. But we'll see. Because I was saying he's been perfect since the Vikings game, but there have been at least a couple situations where we've eschewed his kind of long field goals that are maybe on the edge of his range, just I think to protect his confidence, So,
you know what? Remember in 1994 when we won the Super Bowl with Steve Young? We had Doug Bryan.
Yeah.
How many times did Doug Bryan quick kick a game-winning field goal that year? Or how many times did he kick a field goal that really mattered that year? Never.
Yeah.
And that's how I want to keep. I want to keep it that way.
Yeah, I like it. Darwin says, "Oh, those Bluetooth thermometers are nice. I want one as well." You know what's really nice is I'm driving home. I help the guy prep this brisket for 2 hours. We get the whole thing going. I hop in the car, and I'm like, "Oh, I wonder how the meat's doing." I go look at my phone. It's like, "Oh yeah, he must have just opened the lid because I saw a spike or a drop or whatever." And anyway, yeah, they are. They're super cool, especially if you're, like me, remote, far away. You want to know what's going on with your buddy's grill. He can loop you in on the action on the brisket or whatever you're smoking. But one thing I'll say is with this college prime rib rub, it's a great rub in I'm using on New York's and ribeyes. These are really nice cuts of meat, right? But the thing about brisket that's so cool is you're taking a really crappy cut of meat and you're elevating it, and all of a sudden it's tough and chewy, and then you cook it for 7, 8, 10 hours. All of a sudden it's juicy and moist and tender. You're really elevating the meat, and that's what's so cool about the because it's a lot more work. I will say that the smoking, like I said, it was a 2-hour prep to get that brisket ready.
And the 49ers have been elevating their game. I mean, with Brock Purdy quarterback. You know what's funny? I saw a lot of this banter. I don't know if you were. I'm not gonna say you were mentioning this, but I was going back and forth with a couple of people during this season. They would say, and some of them were saying it last year too, but I don't get why they're saying it. Some of them were throwing up stats and saying, "Oh, well, it's the same stat lines with Purdy and Jimmy when CMC's in the lineup." And dude,
yeah, I said it. I definitely said it. Oh shit, yeah, I posted it about a million times.
But I mean, last year it was because not this year. I mean, it's the stat lines
not this year.
Okay, it was more similar last year probably, but
no, I said
but it was still a better touchdown to interception ratio for Purdy though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I said Purdy was at least a little bit better, but that their stats were much more similar than many people want to believe, and that was the whole Alex Rollins video. That was. I won't say who posted that meme, but I reposted that thing. Had to have been 50 times. I reposted those stats. People say, "Oh, Jimmy and Brock weren't the same last year." I'm like, well, they kind of were when CMC was in there.
But when you watched the games last year, it looked different though. It did. Maybe on paper certain things were similar, but the eye test was completely different in my opinion. Though.
Jimmy is a first-read quarterback. Brock was second, third, fourth reads, escapability. No, the look was different. And that's why I said Brock was at least a little bit better, but the actual stats were very comparable. So
and just the way he carried, the whole thing where I hate to sound like a broken record like this, but it really impresses me the fact that the very first time we saw Brock, and we still see it for the most part, the guy doesn't get rattled. You can blitz all kinds of people at him. He'll make the proper reads. What was it this last game? They set up some blitz where some dude had a free run at Brock Purdy. I think it was number 45. He had a free run on McKivit's side. Now one person touched him. Boom. He came in there. He looked like he was going to rock Purdy's world and sack him or whatever. And then right away, look at the flick of the wrist. Boom. Purdy throws it off to Kittle. And it's you're wearing his jersey, right? And
Jess was just asking about. See, I just got a Kittle jersey from my wife, Santa. For Christmas, and she was asking what I'm wearing. Yeah.
Look at this guy, man. Look at this guy.
I can't believe you're wearing a Purdy
jersey already.
Both gifts. Trust me, if I had bought the Purdy jersey, I probably would have waited until after the Ravens game to put it on. But since it's a gift, I'm like, hell, I'm gonna just
lucky.
Rock it.
Rock it. Don't stop it. Anyway, so Purdy was about to get the hit. It's about to get hit on the blitz. Right, hit a free runner at him. Boom, right away, flicks it to Kittle. Kittle gets yards after the catch, picks up about 20 some odd yards. Then later in the game, the Cardinals were showing that they were going to rush 5 at the quarterback, and they somehow did it where they dropped back a whole bunch of people, and it was only 2 guys rushing the passer, and they had 9 people in pass coverage, and Purdy still found a way to get it to Kittle. The way he's making reads and certain type of throws, it's maybe there might have been certain things that were similar on the stat line last year with Jimmy, because Jimmy was actually playing some pretty good ball with CMC in the lineup. I'm not going to take that away from him, but it's so many nuances and so many things that Purdy brings to the table. It's just to me, he's at least 2 or 3 notches better than Jimmy. It's not even close.
I mean, now he is for sure, but back then I had my doubts.
Well, I only had my doubt because he got hurt, and he got hurt in the Eagles game, and I didn't know what he was going to look like coming back. That was my doubt.
I said all along I thought Purdy probably would improve. I just didn't think it would be nearly this much nor this fast. So, yeah. Char's ready for winter. Yeah, it's probably a little chilly. Gets chilly.
I don't have the heater turned on in the house, and I got the window open to bring in some fresh air, and so therefore the jacket's on.
There you go. So Darwin's Raven was saying that he needs to get a I think he meant Tucker there. Best barbecue said was in Arkansas.
Okay. I gotta do the New York pizza crawl, and then I gotta somehow have some real barbecue in the South. Those are 2 things I want to knock out.
There you go. I like oven brisket. I cook it for 15 hours. There you go. Yeah, you're elevating the meat. It's like a lower cut of meat, but you make it great by cooking it slow and low and the way and what with a good rub and whatnot. So we should probably start wrapping things up. I know Bash, I know you have things to do. I do too, of course. Starting to get ready to get out of town. What else you got going on coming up that you want to promote?
Okay, so today, later, pretty soon actually. Usually we go on at 7, but Raj and I are gonna be going on at 5:30 today, and on my channel and as well as his channel. And we'll also have a show tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Hopefully, Darwin's Raven's gonna be able to join us. We're in the works of trying to get him on. He said he might have some stuff to do, but he might be able to come on a little later. But hopefully, we get him on with Aaron and myself on my channel. That should be a lot of fun. Post-game show for the Monday game. I might do it the same night. Otherwise, I'll do it the following day. But yeah, man, it's always a good time on the 49er Minded YouTube channel. It's always a good time doing the collab. And yeah, Ryan's giving me a suggestion in the chat about doing a barbecue. I don't think I'm ever going to cook a whole pig, dude. I don't have the apparatus to do so.
That'd be good.
Or the patience.
I'm a big fan of the pig. Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully we get this win out of the way. Go Niners. Let's go.
There you go. Well, as far as I know, this will probably be my last stream before going out of town on Monday. And I will try to get some of my regular shows in next week. So if you're around next Friday, Bash, it's possible. This is the biggest problem is I can't commit to anything long term, far out. But if you don't mind a last second invite, then there's a chance we could go next Friday. We'll see.
We'll try to do it. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what's up. And if not, obviously I can have the vacation, but it always helps to wait, hold on. There's some good honey garlic goat cheese chicken with bacon fat green beans. Oh, that sounds good. Anything with bacon fat's got to be good. Sushi rice has vinegar and sugar in it. See? Yeah. It's not easy making sushi rice. I'm telling you. It's long and time specific. Anyway.
I'll pass. I don't make sushi. So.
Anyway, I definitely like sushi. But like I said, it's the better way is to go buy the rice from a sushi restaurant and then get all the other ingredients.
I'll just let them make it for me.
From like a Japanese restaurant or from, good. Even Costco has good, meats, tunas and fish and whatnot. Yeah. So as far as the game goes, we both think Niners are going to win. Bash said 28-17. I said 28-27. And if we don't see you next week, then I'll definitely be back on the 5th. So let's count on that. And hopefully we'll be 2-0 during that time and looking to rest players against the Rams week 18 would be really nice, wouldn't it? All right. I'll just say
yes, sir.
Peace and go Niners.
Bang, Niner game. Let's go Niners. Merry Christmas, everybody.